We watched Class of Nuke'Em High. What?
Why'd we do that?
Is it even a movie? Yes, it's a movie. Let's get into it. So Class of Nuke'Em High is from 1986. It lasts about an hour and 25 minutes. And, you have to see this to believe it. This movie is incredible. You liked it? No? That it's incredible. We open with a nuclear power plant and it's got a radiation leak. It's having problems. Yeah, the boss, this big obnoxious guy, he won't shut it down. He says, I don't give a wet fart. What do you think? He just wants to keep the plant up and running and keep on making money.
It's business. We want money.
And then we cut to the nearby Tromaville High School, built right next door to a nuclear power plant. What? I don't know which one is there first. I don't know who gave planning permission for this, that this is ridiculous. Why would you build a school right next to a power plant? Or vice versa?
Why would you do that?
Inside the school, we see the class nerd, Dewey, taking a drink. Yeah, he drinks from this water fountain and it's green. Later in class, we see Dewey, he's starting to feel the effects of the green slime water. Yeah, and green slime starts to ooze from his mouth. Yuck. And shoot out of his ears.
Oh, yuck! Double yuck!
And all his mates are like, oh, Dewey, what are you doing? What? Kill him? No, don't kill him. Get help, yeah, get help. But they don't have time to get help or anything else. He runs across the classroom and throws himself out of the window. Yeah, he hits the pavement and he melts. Everyone's watching and he just melts. That's disgusting. That is disgusting. Although all other students and teachers don't seem that affected by it. After this we get the opening song from the movie. It's Nuke'Em High. Yeah, I'm not going to sing it. Why not? Because I don't remember it.
Nuke'Em High. Nuke'Em High.
Do you? No, I don't. We meet our main cast, Chrissy, her boyfriend Warren, Warren's friend Eddie. Yeah, he's annoying. He sure is. And the bad guys, what are they called? The Cretans. I would say cretin personally. That Cretans it is. The Cretans are like punks and they're bullies in the high school. We find out just a few months ago they were actually the honour society in the school and suddenly they've become these merciless punks. Yeah. One of the gang, Gonzo. Yeah. Not that Gonzo. No, this Gonzo. Gonzo goes to the nuclear power plant because he buys drugs there. Yeah. He buys marijuana. A few days later, the high school throws a beach party. Yeah, it's night time, it's a dance, and it's beach themed. And do you know why it's beach themed? Why? Because it's summer? No, so you can see girls in bikinis. There are a lot of girls in bikinis. Yeah, and there's one walking around topless. And she just stops in front of the camera for a few seconds. At the party, Warren is speaking to his friends and they're saying to him, why don't you and Chrissy take the next step? Why don't you sleep together? And he's saying, well, I want to, but I don't want to pressure her. Meanwhile, Chrissy's speaking to her friends, saying exactly the same thing. Ha! What a tickle. Anyway, they all meet up at the dance, and Eddie has one of these illicit cigarettes. A joint.
A what?
Yeah, he has a joint which he bought from one of the Cretans, and he forces everyone to take a drag. Yet, especially Chrissy and Warren. And then later, Chrissy and Warren decide, let's leave this party. It's not that good. And it's really not. Well, they've got a live band, who I only think agreed to do this movie because they'll be surrounded by young ladies in bikinis. Maybe. But regardless, Chrissy and Warren decide to leave. They go upstairs to find their coats. Yeah, and while they're there, the joint starts to take effect on Chrissy. She starts to rub her body. And she feels all frisky. Yeah, she feels randy. Orton! No. And because of this, Chrissy and Warren finally get intimate. Later that night, they both have crazy dreams. Chrissy dreams she's got something growing inside her. And Warren dreams he's becoming a mutant. But they're fine. So far, at school we see a bit more of Eddie. Yeah, he's just a pervert. He actually is. Yeah, he walks around just grabbing girls' daughters. Arrest him! You wouldn't get away with that these days. You shouldn't get away with it ever. That's true, you should not get away with it ever. So, creep. We're supposed to like Eddie in this movie. So, mission failed. German class is just about to start. The German teacher, Miss Stein, is standing outside the door, checking all the students in. The leader of the cretins, Spike, he comes up and he forces a kiss from the teacher. And she's trying to fight him off. And then after he leaves, she is like, smiling. Do not take life tips from this movie. Definitely don't. And in the very next scene, Miss Stein, the teacher, is painting her face up and she's joining the cretins. Yet. After school, we see Warren going home. Yeah, and he walks in his house, right? And all the lights start flickering. And when he walks past the radio, it springs to life. And electrical sockets are going crazy. He must have some sort of crazy electricity towers. Not. That never comes up again. We see Spike on the street, he mugs an old lady and punches her to death. Yeah. Meanwhile, his friends are waiting for him in an alleyway. Right, that's it. Right. Warren appears. That is like a lot bigger. And his face is all mutated. He's a monster, basically. He comes up and he beats up these cretins. In fact, he kills them. He puts his hand down one guy's throat. He actually does. He murders them, and he's a mutated monster. Remember, don't forget that. And then Spike comes along, and he just knocks out Spike, and then runs off. We see Spike lying unconscious, and then in the very next instant, Spike is standing fine at the scrapyard where all the cretins hang out, telling his story about what happened. And Miss Stein is there, of course, the newest member of the cretins. In her underwear. She must be freezing. School. I'm assuming this is an after school thing, but there's cheerleading practice going on, and Chrissy is part of the cheerleading squad. Yeah, and she has to leave early. She starts to have a sore stomach. That she's writhing around like, oh, this is so sore. And the instructor is like, yeah, Chrissy, that's the way. It's really weird. Yeah, she goes to the bathroom anyway, and something comes from her stomach at her throat and out of her mouth. It's this horrible little monster. Yeah, it's like a worm. Yeah, a worm. How many syllables? It's like a worm. That's better. Okay. Chrissy collapses. She's taken to the hospital. The doctor says, oh, she's had a miscarriage. What? At the school, we see another young lady using the bathroom. She sees the horrible little worm thing and she flushes it away. And we see its journey. It goes through the tights under the school, into the school canteen, wash basin for a little minute, and then goes back in the drain, and it goes down into the fallout shelter, which is under the school. Goes out of the tight, right into a barrel of toxic waste, where it just chills. There's a fallout shelter under the school, I guess because it's built right next to a nuclear station. Mr. Burns would be proud.
Excellent.
At school the next day, Eddie says to Warren, look, there's something cool arrived in the science lab. They go to the science lab and there's a massive laser. Yeah. I don't know why it's there. I don't know what purpose it's supposed to serve. That Eddie's like, look, it's really cool. And then the teacher comes and chases them out. Yeah, that's right. And then Warren goes to the bathroom. He sees one of the school nerds being bullied by the cretins. Yeah, so he has a fight. And you think, oh, he's going to turn into this mutant again and use his super strength? Nope. That's never going to come up again. Yeah, that was a one-off for some reason. I don't know why it happened. I don't know why it only happened once. But he gets beaten up by the cretins. Yet, and then a teacher comes in, and the cretins all go to the principal, and the principal expels them. Get out of here, kids, he says. But before that, one of the teachers frisks the cretins for weapons and drugs and things like that. Yeah, and he spends a long time frisking a young lady's posterior. At the scrapyard, the cretins want revenge, so they come up with a plan. They go back to the school, they take a rifle, and they shoot the school secretary, yet, for no reason.
What is this movie about?
And then they set off the panic alarm, the evacuation alarm. Yeah, the set off the alarm that sounds to say, everyone has to get out of here because there might be a problem with the power plant. Yeah. Guess how many people go to the fallout shelter? None. That's right. They all just leave the school. They all run out in a panic and just stand outside the school watching the building. Yet, don't know why. No, I don't know why either. But they do. So the Cretans also kidnap Chrissy at this point, and it's only her, the Cretans, and Warren that are in the school. Spike and Miss Stein take Chrissy down to the fallout shelter. Warren manages to track them down and follows them down. And Spike is like, I'm going to kill you both. But then, thrown behind him, the monster appears from the barrel. Yeah, the little worm monster. It's now about 20 foot tall. It comes up, it scares them all, and it punches a hole in Miss Stein's head. It's gross. Its hand goes right through her head. After this, Spike, Chrissy, and Warren run off. We see some of the Cretans driving motorbikes through the corridors of the empty school, causing chaos, ripping up notice boards, spray painting things. Yeah, and the monster just takes them out one by one. It's pretty cool. Eventually, Chrissy and Warren catch up with each other, and then Spike catches up with them. He pulls out a pistol and he's going to shoot them both. Yeah, he's taken ages talking about how he's going to shoot them. Just as he's about to shoot them, guess what happens? Yes, the monster appears and kills him. It does. It throws spikes into his face because his name's Spike. Yeah. And then it's going to kill Chrissy and Lauren. But Lauren remembers, aha, a laser. So he goes and gets a laser and he uses it to shoot the monster. The monster just freezes and starts to glow. Yeah, Chrissy and Warren run off while the monster is just standing glowing. Just at that moment, the power plant boss comes into the school to see what the problem is, finds himself face to face with the giant monster, which is glowing. Yet, and then the giant monster explodes, blows up itself, the plant boss, and of course the entire school. And then we hear a PA system, the sound system saying, the school will be closed for the foreseeable future. And all the students cheer. Yeah. Who made the announcement? Where did that come from? Oh yeah, it's not going to have come from the school, is it? Nope. What's going on? I don't know. But that's basically the end of the movie. That? Almost. Because in the riddle, just before the end credits, we see a little face. The little Warren, the little monster, is back to its original form. Right. We watched this right to the end credits. We did. We watched all the end credits. And did you notice something? What's that? Well, the end credits actually finish before the song does. Oh yeah, that's right. But it doesn't cut off. Does it not? No. You've got a blank screen for about 5 minutes while the song finishes. Oh yeah, that's right. That's really weird. It's really lazy. I guess they just wanted their song to be heard. Well, fill the credits up or slow them down. Something. So that was a movie. Not. That was an experiment by a drunk person. It wasn't. There are lots of Troma movies. Listen, I don't know about you. I don't know if I enjoyed it, but I think I want to see more. Really? Yeah, I think we're going to have to watch a couple more Troma movies. Oh my goodness. Okay, fine. I suppose at least they're not boring. They're definitely not that. That's true. It is definitely memorable. It was. Now if you watch it, be warned, because you should know what you're getting into before you press play. Right, hit like, hit subscribe. Thank you, see you next time. What? Why is he only a mutant once? I don't know.